Hello everybody, welcome back. We have another Glock on the table here. We're going to do kind of a little first look here, and then as time goes by I'll probably give an update on this one. Without further ado, we are taking a look at the new, well, you should already know by now, you read the video title. We are looking at the new Glock 45. 9mm, not a 45. This is the basically a 19X with some other bits. But at its core, it is a Glock 19 slide on a Glock 17 frame. This is fairly, I mean, sort of close to what Glock had put in for the military trial, and the 19X was what Glock had released to the general public, you know, with basically the exception of putting a manual safety. That's pretty much what they gave to the military. Now, from my understanding and some of my reading, this particular pistol was kind of in response to what some of our law enforcement were talking about. They wanted the, you know, basically they're not worried about concealability. They want the added capacity and, you know, the Glock 19 slide. Why? Meh. You know, I mean, I've always thought that the Glock 19 is one of the best size pistols out there. It fits a lot of purposes, but you know, getting a few extra rounds is always good too, I guess. Let's talk a little bit about the pistol and we'll talk some other stuff about it. So a couple differences between this and the 19X, obviously. Black. You know, I'm not a big fan of tan. I didn't really like the tan. I kind of thought the tan just was, you know, it's just not up my alley. So we got black. We do have front slide serrations, which I never use, so I'm not really super impressed with that, but that's okay. Some people like it, and that's cool. Did eliminate the design of the bottom of the mag well that the 19X had. Kind of brought down a little bit more plastic, so you know, where we have the mag sitting here like that, in the 19X there was just a little bit of plastic that came down here at the end to sort of make it flush, I guess, and a lanyard loop in the back, which obviously we don't have here. It's just open. But that little bit of plastic in the front would not allow Gen 5 mags to, you know, be used in this because of the extended floor plate. And as you can see there, you know, the floor plate basically comes to the very end of the grip. Now, is that significant? I don't know about that, but I just don't like the, you know, buying a pistol where I can't use any, you know, Glock 17 mag effectively. I just think it's kind of silly. Grip-wise, I like the grip. You know, again, it's a Glock 17, but I really feel like, you know, the Gen 5... The Gen 5 Glock 17s really seem to feel a lot better to me than the old Gen 3s or Gen 4s. And I've had Gen 4 and Gen 3 full-size Glock pistols in the past, and I just think that this feels a lot better. No finger grooves. No finger grooves there, unless you see them. I don't see any finger grooves. Looks like they're gone. Still has the, you know, nice texturing here. Heck of a lot better than old Glocks. I mean, when it was basically nice and slick and we all had to put grip tape on it. I don't know if you did that, but I certainly did. It does have the beveled magwell. I guess I should have pointed that out beforehand, but it does have the beveled magwell, which some people do like. This particular Glock does have the Glock factory night sights, which are pretty nice. I kind of am of the opinion to take it or leave it on night sights. I know a lot of people like them, but for me it's just kind of like, meh, okay, cool. Trigger wise, I actually like the trigger. Nice, pretty clean break there. doesn't necessarily have that wall that some people like. You know, there are a lot of people that want to, like, you know, I'm getting right there. It's like, oh, if I pull it any more than this, it's totally going to go bang, bang. But, you know, this is a bit more smooth, but I almost feel like it has a little bit more, again, I don't really want to say a wall, but it just kind of feels a little, you know, puts a little bit more tension before it actually would go off than my Gen 5 19. So I don't know, could just be this gun, could have just been the 19, I'm not sure, but I like the trigger on these. I think they're nice. As far as reset goes, so there we have the trigger pull, and then we would have the reset right there. So nice, you know, nice short reset. I like Glock triggers, I always have. I think that they work really well. They make the thing go bang, you know. And I've never had any problem with Glock triggers aside from one of the Glock 19 Gen 4s I had. It was the old gray frame, and that trigger, I was not a big fan of that one. That needed a lot of work, but this trigger I do like. Let's see here. You know, still the ambi slide stop, the longer, you know, or larger mag release, which can be changed. Let's go ahead and open it up here, I guess, and we'll take a peek in the innards. Look, it's a frame, Glock 17 frame. Woo! Double recoil spring, which Glock went to a little while ago. You know, some people complain about that, but you know, it is what it is. It works. And then, of course, the super popular Marksman barrel with its, I don't know if you quite capture that very well there, but with its crowning and said to have a little bit deeper rifling in there. You know, people claim it to be a little bit more like an actual, like a match grade barrel, which yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't necessarily know that I shoot any better with it, or the barrel makes that much difference. I've been shooting Glocks for a long time, and maybe it's just because, you know, I've shot them for so long, I'm just so comfortable with them. I don't think I necessarily see much a difference in the accuracy of this Glock with the Marksman barrel as opposed to the old barrel, but you know, I could be wrong there. The package does include the 4 back straps and 3 magazines, of course, 17 rounders. You can definitely get those of larger round count, but obviously you can't take a step down and try and put a Glock 19 mag in there. That would be a big no-no. Wouldn't work. Yeah, I mean, the Glock packages are fairly consistent across the board. I do like the fact they have gone to giving 3 mags instead of 2, because in the old Glock packages you used to only get 2 mags. I still have a pretty big surplus of Glock 19 mags, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, from the years and years of having 19s. So from a first look perspective, what do I think about this particular Glock? I like it. I actually like it a lot. I think it feels good in the hand. I'm anxious to get some serious rounds down range before I start talking about the shootability. But it feels good. I feel like I can really get my hand, you know, right up in that frame. It feels very comfortable. It feels like, you know, it's very familiar. Very familiar. And that's kind of half the battle. One of the things, and I know this has been kind of debated among a lot of different shooters, the whole pick up any gun and just shoot it and don't worry about comfortability. But, you know, in a lot of ways, I think how comfortable you are with your firearm means a lot. And it certainly does to me. And when I picked this up, it felt like, you know, just like shaking hands with an old friend again, something I'm very familiar with. But yeah, I don't know if I've probably missed some other stuff, but you know, like I said, this is very similar to a 19X. You know, the 19X was basically more like a modified Gen 4. The Glock 45 is definitely more in the vein of a Gen 5. You know, the serrations, the flared magwell, no lanyard loop. I don't know. If I'm missing something, make sure you comment down below for me. I definitely appreciate it. You know, every now and again I get things wrong, but I mainly do this for entertainment purposes and for my own kind of keeping it in my head. But interesting pistol. Definitely looking forward to getting it out there. And hey guys, you know, down in the comments, tell me about your experiences with this pistol. You know, let me know what I could be getting into in the long term if I keep this thing around. I definitely appreciate any feedback. That's kind of what YouTube is for, man. Just getting feedback, right? But yeah, aside from that, make sure if you haven't already, hit the old subscribe button for me. I definitely appreciate it. And thank you to all the subscribers who have already you know, been subscribed. I see a lot of the same folks commenting. It's nice to build a little community of all of you. Leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. And make sure you're checking the links down in the description. You know, periodically I have different stuff down there, some helpful Amazon links, links to all my, you know, my favorite YouTubers, you know, my P.O. box if you want to send something, you know, because we do a lot of rations here, and eventually we'll get more into the camping gear. But if you have anything you'd like to send in, you know, to be reviewed, P.O. box is down there. Patreon page is also down there if you'd like to help support the channel. Definitely can go there if you'd like. Of course, not mandatory. There's just, you know, I'm trying to build that up, put some extra content on there as I can, but you know, my time has been a little bit, you know, chaotic. So anyway, folks, thank you very much for checking out this video. We'll definitely do a follow-up of the Glock 45 as soon as I can get some significant rounds downrange. We'll see y'all later. Have a good one.